What is up, awesome people of the internet? Guys, happy Tuesday. We got our polls I do adore. We're going to talk about UCLA and the victory that they got yesterday over Oklahoma. We're also going to be talking about the WNBA lottery for the draft that is coming up pretty soon, and where some players might end up going in the draft. All right, that and a whole lot more on today's episode of Quita in the Morning. Let's go.
Are you ready?
Are you ready?
Are you ready? Ready, set, go.
All right, ladies and gents, let's get started by talking about what I would consider the game of the night. It was a top 10 matchup between UCLA and Oklahoma. It was on neutral territory, even though it was in California. So, of course, a lot of a whole lot of UCLA fans in the building at the Sacramento Kings Arena. Here's the thing, guys. This was a game that I personally was looking forward to. To me, I thought this was going to be a challenge for Oklahoma to really see what they have and really give a test to Leah Chavez to really see, okay, well, what can she really do? Reagan Beers, we've seen her play and struggle a little bit against bigger posts like a Lauren Betts, and so it was a question mark of, okay, well, how is that going to go? Is she going to be able to hold her own? And a huge question mark was about Sahara Williams and Van, and just really seeing who else can step up for Oklahoma and make some stuff happen. And for UCLA, it really was a test of, okay, we know this team is really good. How good are they? How good is UCLA? Are they, similar to last year, just like exceptionally good on paper, and then will we see them not play very well during the actual game against a top 10 opponent? Those were some of the questions I had personally. I know y'all may have had your own questions, but these were the questions I had coming into this game. And I tell you, at the end of it, number one, at times both teams played very sloppy in this game, very, very sloppy. But in the end, I really do think that UCLA has proved that they are about that life. Okay? And the reason why is the transfer portal. Okay? Gianna Neepkins, who's like the big new addition to this UCLA squad, she has just been flat out amazing. Coming into this season, we knew how efficient Gianna Neepkins is, right? This is her last year in college. This is someone who can do just about everything on the court. She can knock down threes. She can score in the mid range. She can get to the bucket if she needs to. She can do a little bit of everything, right? She was a star at Utah, ultimately made the decision to go over to UCLA. And I got to tell you, the only reason, in my opinion, now y'all may disagree, the only reason UCLA wins yesterday is because of Gianna Neepkins. She was huge in this one. 20 points for her. 4 assists, shot very efficiently, 57% from the field, in a game where field goals, percentage, it wasn't great for either team. But for Gianna, she was absolutely doing her thing. And that was fan-freaking-tastic to see. In a lot of ways, when you talk about the bigs comparison, this was a game between Reagan Beers and Lauren Betts, and both of them basically canceled themselves out. Neither one, I don't think, really made an impact in this game. There were some good blocks that specifically Lauren Betts had that I really personally liked. And I will say the refs, especially in that first half, did allow for some physical contact down low, which I personally am in favor for. Like I don't mind that, not one bit. And in a lot of ways, yeah, they really did just cancel each other out. And this was a game about the guards, because the posts kind of just, they weren't really the biggest factor really at all in this game. All right. And so that's kind of my thoughts on the big. So like, yes, this was a star powered game between Reagan and Lauren. I mean, Lauren got the better end of it because her team ultimately ended up winning, and she got some really nice blocks in there. Though someone said in the chat, yes, Lauren needs to clean up her travels. Yes, yeah, she travels a lot, but what big man does it? Well, I can count a bunch of big men who don't. Most notably, A'ja Wilson. She doesn't. But typically, the traditional posts, which is what Lauren Betts really is, though she is trying to extend her range a little bit. She travels a lot. She just does. She just does. Okay. All right. I think that's just. Yes, she has to clean that up, but at the same time, it's like I don't know how much more I expect, because here's the thing: like look at the other traditional posts that you kind of have in the W. I mean, it's not many left at all, right? It's not many. Tierra McCowan, Kalani Brown, Camila Cardoso. Like there's a couple of traditional bigs left in the W. And we gonna see Lauren Betts come in there and travel just like the rest of them. Yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is. Sterling says Lauren also turns the ball over a lot. She has a bad habit of bringing the ball down in the post. Yeah, you tall. You are tall. Keep that ball up. Seriously. Keep that ball up. But yeah, seriously. K. Jackson said keep it shuffle. Yes. Do the Cupid shuffle. Yes. King K also says Neepkins in, Jones out is a great move. Yeah, as a reminder, guys, London Jones is has gone to USC, and Gianna Neepkins is in UCLA. And yeah, they did kind of just like swap roles, swap positions, or swap teams, really. Anyway, Gianna Neepkins was at Utah, so technically they didn't swap teams. But anyway, London Jones was like one of the bigger scorers for UCLA last year, and this year it's Gianna Neepkins. I think both players are in a better spot. Like I think London Jones works better at USC, and I think Gianna Neepkins is going to have more attention on her at UCLA, which is really, really good for her, especially for WB draft stuff. And actually, here, let me turn off my heat real quick. I need to get one of those, what do they call it, Nests? Like the things that you can use your phone to like change your heat, because then I could just like turn it off. Anyway. Anyway. Hey, Shamika, they were battling. They were. Lauren Betts and Reagan Beers were battling a lot in the post. Okay. But and overall, yes, Gianna Neepkins, really good game. I enjoyed her play. Hawkes, got some timely buckets when needed. Angela Dukalic was pretty big for UCLA coming off the bench. Ultimately, she had what? Was she the second leading scorer for the team? She had 16 points, 15 rebounds for Dukalic. She was absolutely huge in this one. But to me, this game really did come down to adjustments. In this game, I ended up tweeting about it in the first half about Oklahoma, and I was saying like the more and more I watch this team play, like the more I like them, and that's because, in my opinion, especially in that first half, we saw a lot of potential from Oklahoma. And I was like, okay, well, maybe Oklahoma could win, but then they just kind of... UCLA made some adjustments, and then ultimately they ended up getting the win. But I do want to talk about the positives I saw with Oklahoma, and the reason why I really like this team. Like, I really do. Now, is this team a Final Four team? No, they're not. I don't think they are. Are they an Elite Eight team? Maybe. I think it's a maybe, question mark. I don't know. But I do think that this team is fun. Okay. I do think they're fun. You got Sahara Williams, who, she just has a lot of, she's very aggressive on the court. And I liked her impact specifically in that first half. She ultimately, was close to a double-double, did not ultimately get there. 8 points, 10 rebounds for her. I also like Zaya Van. I thought she gave some really good minutes for Oklahoma as well. Again, in that first half, kind of giving them a boost. And then you have Aaliyah Chavez, who, yes, Aaliyah Chavez has to work on her shot selection. Please, work on your shot selection. Because some of the stuff, Jenny Baranczyk, you gotta... I know the season's already started, but, definitely in the offseason, work on her... work on her shot selection. Because I see the vision with her. I really do. I actually think that, if she can just slow her roll with some of the quick chuck shots, and just slow her roll a little bit just with just bad shot selection. I do like her vision. I do. There were some passes that, her teammates didn't always make it, so she didn't always get the assist. But there were some of the passes that I was like, oh, nice one, nice find. It's not the flashiest passes, but it's the smart decision. And so, on offense, I think Aaliyah Chavez has a lot of potential. Now, did she play great yesterday? No, she did not. But again, I'm judging on a different scale. I'm not judging on is this player the best player in college basketball? No, nowhere near. She's I don't think Aaliyah Chavez is going to win Freshman of the Year. She's not. Right? But I think that's a Jazzy Davison thing. I think Jazzy's going to win Freshman of the Year. But anyway, I do think Aaliyah Chavez has a lot of potential if she can get reined in a little bit in terms of her shot selection. A lot of potential for her. But yeah, I just wanted to state that for the record. I think she has a lot of potential, but she has to get, as the season goes on, I think we have to start to see a mental flip in some of her shot selection during the course of the season. I want to see her attempt less shots and just be smarter about her decision making, and then also consistently play defense. Aaliyah Chavez is one of those players that, like, if she wants to, she could play defense. I think a lot of times she just don't want to. And I think that's a thing with a lot of like younger players, especially younger guards, or sometimes they just like call it off and they're just like, I'm not really gonna play like that. But if she wants to play defense, I think she can. It's just the motivation to actually do it, actually play defense well. I think that's the thing. But also Peyton Verhulst for Oklahoma kind of lead the charge for this team. She shot. She's one of the most efficient shooters for the team, which is not saying too much for a team that only shot around 30% from the field in the entire game. But also, it's something, I guess. But Peyton Verhulst ended up, doing knocking down 2 threes, ended up finishing the game with 16 points for Oklahoma. Oklahoma has potential. I think you need to get a little bit more discipline with Aaliyah Chavez and her shot selection. And this team has to just consistently decide that they want to play defense. And I think good things will happen. Not Final Four good things, but good things. Good things nonetheless. Okay, good things nonetheless. Leah Chavez is 5'10", I want to say. Yeah, she's 5'10". Yeah, at this point, Jazzy is basically the unanimous freshman of the year right now. Okay? At this point. Telly says Leah Chavez could play a younger Kara Lawson in a biopic. Yeah, probably. Yeah. They got the curly hair thing going. Wait, who said Gianna Newkins is like Paige? Like, no, she's not like Paige. No, she's not. All right. Kentucky Rick says, thanks to FS1 for televising Big Ten games. I usually don't get to watch them. Shout out to FS1 because I was actually able to watch yesterday's game on YouTube TV. And I got to tell you, I have been going absolutely crazy watching stuff on Fubo. Like, I just can't. It's just so bad. Like, it's just, I got, like, there were some games I was watching where, like, I tuned in after it started. And, like, I was trying to, like, move the dial to, like, early on in the game. And, like, it just, I don't know what it is. Like, I feel like I know how to use technology, but like for some reason, like Fubo, like I was struggling trying to get to the places I wanted in the game to watch. And I just couldn't stand it. Like, I don't know. Maybe there's something wrong with me. I don't know. But Fubo TV, I just don't like it. I really don't. And I've hated the fact that most of these games have been on ESPN platforms. Most of the games we've seen so far this year. Okay? Most of the games. But yesterday, I was able to watch YouTube TV because it was on FS1. And please, Google and Disney, please get your stuff together. Please. Because I can't do it. Like, I think this is going to be the only month I'm paying for Fubo. And if this thing lasts longer than the month, I'm gonna have to move to something else. Like, I can't use Fubo anymore. Like, I just can't stand the platform. Like, it's just not good. I'll try Hulu, I guess. I'll try Hulu next. if Google can't get their stuff together. Okay. Also, I forgot to mention, but happy Veterans Day to all those who have served. My dad included, and all the other awesome people of the internet who are veterans. We do thank you so much for your service. And just thank you for being a awesome, selfless human being. We really do appreciate Really do appreciate you all for your sacrifice. All right, let's. Oh, that's weird. Why is my Okay. Anyway, let's continue. Let's continue on. Also, again, UCLA, really good game, especially in the second half. Kind of just staying with the program. And shout out to Corey Close, who, again, there's just certain teams, certain people. The more and more I watch about them, the more I like what they're doing. And I think UCLA is really building something very, very, very special. It really is cool. Like, again, you got Gianna Neekins, you got Charlize Legger Walker, who's back, healthy and is making an impact. You got Douglas coming off the bench. You got Lauren Betts, who, yes, she was canceled out yesterday, but still, she is an awesome player. Got to get her travels in order, but still, fantastic player. Kiki Rice, I thought played fine. Kiki Rice is not. I'm not looking to Kiki Rice to score a bunch of points. I'm just not. Maybe I'm not. That's not what I'm checking for. And I also am not really expecting her to again, she's gonna be in the WNBA draft. I don't think she's a first round pick. I don't. I think she's a second round, mid second round. Possibly I wouldn't be surprised if she falls to the end of the second round. I don't know. I think she has more to work on in terms of her shots. And so, yeah, I don't know. I'm rooting for her, though. I'm rooting for her. I just don't really see the vision right now for, especially considering that she's about to be in the WNBA soon. And so, yeah, I think you just, yeah, her scoring, it just needs further development. It just does. It needs further development. Okay. All right. Yeah. Anyway, I also wanted to talk about the fact that we did end up seeing, I don't have a graphic for this, but we ended up seeing an article by Marie Claire, which, when did Marie Claire start writing articles about women's basketball? I ended up reading the article. I was like, what? It was a good article. Number one, it was a good article. It was an interview with Sandy Brondello in their exit interview series. And I gotta say, I was confused a little bit because I was really like, when did they start doing when did they start doing women's basketball material? And this is honestly, this is the first time I really remember reading Marie Claire ever. But I did want to talk a little bit about Sandy Brondello and her exit interview, because what was interesting, I thought, is that she kind of talked about how she kind of knew immediately after they lost in the playoffs that she was done. Her time was done at New York, right? But her, sadness and whatnot, it was not long lasting, because she got a whole bunch of phone calls from people and teams, including Toronto, Dallas, Seattle. And she kind of talked about how one of the reasons why she picked Toronto is because she wanted the opportunity to shape a culture, to pick her own players, to define a franchise identity and to have an entire country, not just a city behind her. Like she kind of talked about how the Toronto Tempo is not just a Toronto team; it's a Canada team. Similar to the Blue Jays. Shout out to the Dodgers. Okay. Okay. And so I thought that was like, of course, makes a lot of sense. When we talk about a player like a player and a coach like Sandy Brondello, she's someone who has had a lot of longevity, right? She was a longtime coach at Phoenix, won a championship for them, ended up going to New York, won a championship. Now she is she's only one of two coaches who have won titles with two different WNBA teams. And now she's looking to be someone who can win 3 titles with 3 WNBA teams, which could be pretty cool. And she's looking to bring the first championship to Toronto. All right. It's pretty cool. Number one, to just read the Q&A, but also the fact that there was an effort to do an exit interview on a WNBA coach in Marie Claire. I just gotta say, to me, the reason why I'm talking about this, one, is because I thought the interview was cool, and I appreciated reading Sandy's responses, but also I think this just continues to show that women's basketball is in a different place than we used to be. The space that we are in for women's basketball, it's now weaved into pop culture, where any and everybody is looking to talk about the WNBA, looking to have conversations with coaches, with players about what's happening in the WNBA. And to me, I think it's special. I think it's awesome. I love it. I think this is flat out amazing. The fact that we are in this space where a traditional, well, I wouldn't call them necessarily traditional, but like a company that is very focused on pop culture, for them to have a piece about Sandy Brondello. Again, like, I wouldn't be surprised if they had something about like Caitlyn or Angel or somebody who's bringing in a lot of those like pop dollars. But like Sandy Brondello, I just, this is just emblematic of like what is happening in the women's basketball space, what's happening in the WNBA that's forcing people who may have not traditionally paid attention, forcing them to pay attention and take note of what's going on. So with that being said, let's talk about how the future is here. Because the 2026 WNBA draft lottery is upon us. And I personally want to talk about it. All right. So you all see it on the screen. The WNBA draft lottery is going to take place on Sunday, November the 23rd at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time on ESPN. Now, I personally am super excited about this draft because the Sky have a chance. Small chance, but a chance. Okay? It's going to be a 30-minute special, again, on November the 23rd on ESPN. This is a thing where, ESPN has for over a decade been the host of the draft lottery special. And since we are sort of early in the college season, I thought it would be a good idea to kind of just talk through this real quick with you all and yeah, get y'all thoughts, okay? Okay. All right. So anyway, this draft, in a lot of ways, is just a continuation of the changing of the guards in the WNBA. We are in a new day, right? We have franchises coming in droves into the WNBA. Also, randomly, shout out to Atlanta for getting an NWSL team. Okay, I gotta say that. Shout out to them. But sorry, I lost. Atlanta getting all the women's sports teams. It's kind of cool. Anyway, this draft in a lot of ways is going to just going to continue helping to reshape the league. There are some, in my opinion, franchise-changing players in this that will be in this 2026 WNBA draft. And, we got expansion here, 2 new teams. We have a chance to either see a Minnesota Lynx team get even stronger. We have an opportunity to possibly see a Dallas Wings team figure it out. We might end up seeing a Chicago Sky team get bailed out. Lot of things to have in mind. So let's break down what's happening, who has the odds, and which players could be walking across the stage in that lottery slot for 2026. Also, if y'all are curious about this photo, this is a photo from last year's draft lottery. Last year, there was a draft lottery with Dallas, the Sparks, the Mystics, and the Chicago Sky. We all know how that turned out. This year, we don't know who the representatives for the teams will be. If you are having issues, Kina says she's having issues. If you're having issues, hop out of the stream, exit out of YouTube, and come back in, and it should work. If someone could type that in the chat, that would be awesome. Okay? That'd be awesome. All right, let's go to the next one, and let's actually take a look at the odds. All right, so the team that has the most chances is, surprise, surprise, the Dallas Wings. We also have the Minnesota Lynx with the second most chances to get the number 1 pick, and that is because of the masterful trade by the Chicago Sky. Basically, there was a trade there was a trade that happened. Anyway, sorry, I'm getting a little discombobulated. Anyway, Chicago and Minnesota, they extinguished Minnesota's right to pick swap its own first round pick for Chicago's own first round pick, and Chicago has traded its own first round pick to Minnesota, and that was for Sika Kone, Nikolina Milic in 2024. So yeah. Anyway, Chicago Sky always making fantastic moves, making fantastic moves. We would have had the second most chances to get a number 1 pick, and now we don't. Anyway, if y'all don't know, if y'all are new to this channel, know that I am a Chicago Sky fan. Full disclosure for anybody who don't know. Also, the Seattle Storm has the 3rd most chances to get 167 chances out of 1,000, and that's because they owned the LA Sparks pick. All right, So remember, guys, the Sparks traded away their first round pick to Seattle in 2024. Okay. All right. And then we got the Washington Mystics, who keep their own lottery pick. They have the fourth best chance of getting the number one pick with 97 out of 1,000. And we have the Chicago Sky, who at least did something right. They did pick up the Connecticut Suns first round pick via a trade, and so they have 55 chances to get a number one pick. 55 out of 1,000, which is not a lot. Like, it's 55 out of 1,000 is pretty bad odds, right? Like that's pretty terrible odds, actually. But it's better than nothing. It is better than nothing. And actually, speaking of that, let's look at the Chicago Sky a little bit more. As I told y'all already, they have a complicated draft situation. They traded away their own 2026 first round pick to Minnesota, but they did pick up Connecticut's first round pick via a trade. There is a 7% chance, according to Tankathon, there's a 7% chance that the Chicago Sky get the number one pick. 7%. And to that 7%, I say, so you mean we have a chance? So you mean we have a chance? Yes, there's a chance. Not much of a chance, but there's a chance that the Sky get the first number one pick in the draft. There's a 9.3% chance that they get the number two pick. There is a 83.7% chance that the Sky gets the fifth pick. So you're saying there's a chance. As we talk about the WNBA draft and where players are, or where teams are likely to get. So again, remember, Dallas has the best chance. Then it's Minnesota. Then it's Seattle. Then it's the Washington Mystics. Then it is the Chicago Sky. All right. And for those of you all who are newer to this draft process, here's how it works. There are 14 balls that are numbered 1 through 14. They will be placed in a lottery machine and mixed. 4 balls will be drawn to determine a 4-digit combination. The team assigned to that 4-ball combination will receive the number one pick. The 4 balls will then be placed back in the machine, and the process will be repeated to determine the second pick. Of the 3 teams not selected in the drawing, the team with the worst cumulative 2-year record will get the 3rd pick, and the team with the next worst record will get the 4th pick, and the remaining team will get the 5th pick, which is why the Chicago Sky have a huge chance of getting the 5th pick. All right. Okay. All right. So, let's get into it. Let's actually first see what y'all got to say in the comments. JH is asking, how does 55 out of 1,000 equal 7%? I don't know, actually. But Tankathon, which I think is a extremely reputable source. That's what they put, that Chicago has a 7% chance. And so, yeah, that's what I got. Okay. Candace says the Chicago Sky are getting the number 1 pick. You've seen it here first. I mean, hey, let's make it happen. Let's make it happen. That'd be pretty nice. That would be pretty nice. Herbert says there should be 16 balls this year, right? According to the WNBA's website, it says 14. All right, it says 14. All right. Anyway, let's actually start to talk about some of the players that are available to go into the 2026 WNBA draft. All right. Here are some of the players. Of course, this is not a full list of every single player that is eligible because, I'm not doing that. So if you are like, hey, Quita, you're biased because you don't like my player because you didn't put them on the screen. Well, no. I just want to select a couple players. Anyway, let's talk about some of the players who are likely to be heavily considered for a lottery pick. And I gotta say, to me, the number 1 pick likely in the 2026 WNBA draft will be Awa Pham. The reason why is because she's pro ready. Okay? She's pro ready, and I don't see Lauren Betts getting the leap over her. Okay? I just personally don't see it. For those who don't know, Awa Pham is she's 19 years old. She is a Spanish post player. She is currently playing overseas right now. And she is a straight up baller. 6'6". This is someone who can score. This is someone who can grab rebounds. This is someone who could be like a game changer for a team because she can run the floor, she can score, and I think she is just a continuation of this new era of post players who can do a little bit of everything, post players who are not just completely stuck in the post. And I think she has a lot of potential in the W, a lot of potential. And I'm interested to see her make some stuff happen because she can do a little bit of everything. I'm talking about a post player who does not totally act like a post player. Right? I think the future of the post, I mean, you see it. The future of the post is Nafisa Collier. It's Asia Wilson, and I think it is Awa Pham. So I'm just saying that's who I got as likely my number 1 pick because I think she's great. Now, is she someone who can go into the WNBA and like compete for like a first or second team all WNBA? No. But I do think that she's a player who you give her a year or two in the WNBA, she gonna be on one. It's my personal opinion, but what do y'all say? What do y'all say? Okay? Yes. Versatility is super important in the WNBA. Extremely important. And everybody else, it just kind of depends in terms of the positioning. Here's the thing. Here's what I have to say. when we look at the teams who have the top chances, right? If you look at Dallas, if you look at Minnesota, if they happen to get the number 1 pick, like our fam, to me, I think she's a lock. She's a lock. I don't know. I think that'd be cool. Tisha says fam would be best for Dallas, but we also need a now presence and a guarantee she will come to the WNBA, not just sign and sit out. Well, yes, and I do think this new CBA, I do think that will help bring a bit more incentive for her to actually like play and join the team. But assuming our fam actually comes to the United States and actually plays in the WNBA, I think she'd be huge for the Wings. I think that would be amazing. And also, can you imagine our fam and Nafisa Collier on the Minnesota Lynx? Like, dude, that would be amazing. That would be straight up amazing. Okay? Because this girl can do everything. She can score in the paint. She can score in the mid-range. She can score in the 3. She can do anything. Okay? And she's tall. She can block a shot. She can play some defense. She can get some rebounds. She can do a little bit of everything on the court. And just imagine her in Dallas or her in Minnesota. It would be fun to watch. It would be fun to watch. Okay? No, that's number 1. Number 2, I think there's a lot of big-time guards in this draft. And it depends, and where they place really depends on where certain teams are in the lottery, right? Because, if a team really does need a point guard over everything, you better get yourself Olivia Miles, because I think she can be that and be really good for a WNBA team. If you need a scorer, well, you can kind of take your pick. If you want just pure shooter, AZ Fudd, Gianna Neepkins all day. Pick one. I mean, my preference would be AZ, but pick one. If you need players who could just put their head down and just kind of get a bucket, and you don't care too much about, of course, efficiency matters, but you care more about the physicality of the game, in terms of your guards, well, you're gonna go for Flau'jae Johnson. You're gonna go for a player like a Tanaya Latson, right? But I gotta say, if now again, remember, I'm a Sky fan, so I gotta talk about the Sky more than other teams. But I gotta say, if a team like the Chicago Sky gets either the first or second pick, I think you have to put all chips in on AZ Fudd. That's what I would love to see. Either AZ Fudd or Gianna Neepkins. Now, yes, does the Sky need a point guard? Yes. But I'm going AZ over everything. Personally. If I'm the Sky. If I'm Jeff Pagliacca, I am no. Because Olivia Miles don't really play defense like that. And AZ can play defense. And AZ has a shot for days. Shot for days. Okay? And so if the Chicago Sky get a top 2 pick, either the 1 or the 2, you gotta go all in on AZ and figure out a replacement for Sloot later. Okay? You figure out your Sloot replacement later. First, secure the best guard in the draft. The best guard in the draft, in my opinion, is AZ Fudd. I've seen a couple people who've put AZ sort of in that towards the 4, 5, 6, 7 range in terms of the draft. To me, I think that's wild. I don't know. I think AZ Foot is a top 2 depending on the team. Depending on the team that drafts her. I think she's the top 2. Now, if you're Minnesota or you're Dallas and you get a top 2 pick, you should go 100% in for our fam. 100%. But everybody else, I mean, AZ's right there. I'm doing AZ as priority. If she's gone, I'm going Gianna Neepkins. Because we kind of saw it yesterday. Gianna Neepkins is a bucket getter. She can score. Okay? At basically all 3 levels. All right? And then, after both of those players are off the board, okay, sure, get Olivia Miles, because yes, you do need a point guard. But like to me, I think you need a scorer more than a point guard for the Chicago Sky, personally. We'll see what happens, but that is my my thought. If you are the Washington Mystics, I think you should go for our fam. It'd be kind of interesting to see her and Kiki kind of pair up for Washington. I would also seriously go for the same thing as the Sky. You're either going for AZ Foot or Gianna Neepkins. I don't know. Because she's a shooter. Tulip says, Gianna is not a top 5 pick. Don't let yesterday fool you. She won't have the pleasure of having Chavez the Cone Carter in the W. Yes. Yesterday, I think absolutely was Gianna taking advantage of the situation. But again, when we're thinking about shooters, Gianna Neepkins is a shooter. Like she just is. Like she is. And you need more shooters in the WNBA. I think she's a pure shooter. Now AZ over everybody, but Gianna Neepkins can knock down a basketball. Okay. And I do think she could be pretty impactful. Now, this is not the best draft class. It's not, right? This is not the best draft class at all. It is nowhere near. But I do think a player like Awa Pham, she's a game changer on whatever team she goes to. Game changer. A player like AZ Foot, game changer on whatever team she goes to. Everybody else, they're gonna make an impact. They're not a game changer, in my opinion. Lauren Betts, fantastic. Not a game changer because of some of her limitations in the post. Right? I think this draft class has the potential for a lot of players to make a WNBA roster. 100%. You know, and if you're a team like the Seattle Storm, I think Seattle can kind of take the pick. They can take their pick. Do you want to? You already have Dominique Malunga, right? Do you want to double down on another post player? Probably not. I don't think. Probably not. So maybe you do go for one of the guards, right? And so, yeah, anyway. All I got to say is I am praying for the Chicago Sky to get the number 1 pick or number 2 pick. Because if somebody else gets the number 1 pick, I don't think they go AZ. I don't. They probably go Awa Pham. The Chicago Sky needs AZ Foot. That's all I got to say. And I got to say this. Once they get her, same thing with Angel. When they got Angel, first thing I did was buy that jersey. Okay? I can't wait. I'm bad. Okay? I am going to buy it. Now, let's just hope that the Sky do the right thing if they get a chance to. We'll see. We will see. Telly says, nope. Storm take AZ, pair with Dom, Jordan, Nika, and build from there. Do you really think that Nika Mule is a building block player for Seattle? I like Nika. I think Nika is a really good player. But do you really think that she's a building block player? I don't think so. I think I could absolutely see Seattle possibly picking up Olivia Miles if they have a chance to. If they don't have a chance to get to get someone else, I don't know. Now, yes, Jordan Horston. I really like Jordan Horston. I think she is likely going to be a part of the future for Seattle. And of course, Dominique Malonga is the future. I don't know. I mean, I feel like Nika's like a, someone who's, fourth off the bench for Seattle. But okay, that's my sign. I gotta go. All right. Anyway, thank y'all so much for watching. Yeah, dog. I mean, I don't know. It should be interesting. It should be very, very interesting. That's all I got to say. Anyway, y'all have a good one. Have a great day. Be productive. And I will see y'all in the next one. Hit that like button for me one more time. That really does help a lot. Also, the CBA and how many players can be on each team will also affect how many players actually make a WNBA team. If it's still 12, there's going to be some players. There are going to be some players that are going to get cut. If the WNBA allows for 14, 15 players on a team, well, maybe it's going to be a lot different. We're going to see a lot more players make it. All right. Anyway, that's it. Thank y'all for watching. And until next time, guys. Bye-bye.